Hello people, and in this episode of One Piece, Kaido steps up to the plate to take the bat and he swings for the fences with Luffy's face. And I will say, if it wasn't for the previous episode when Kaido in his dragon form tail whipping Luffy, this would have been a one shot. But that's the one major blunder I can see out of this fight. Other than that, everything was great. For all intents and purposes, I think this is actually the last episode of 2019, considering there is no One Piece episode next week. We're on break. It wraps up Wano at 1, which is a great way to start 2020, but this was a great way to end the year. Right? Despite what you think about Kaido and Luffy, this arc so far has been great. They've hit it out the mark. A few margins error here and there. Pacing issues aside, we have Luffy using Gear Third. He uses Elephant Gatling. He does send Kaido back a bit, but Kaido absorbs the blows easily in his dragon form. And then does that, he emits the red aura. So that was pretty badass, and which is crazy. Luffy uses Grizzly and Magnum, which is crazy because that's the technique. And I like the attention to detail because that's the attack that took down Caesar Clown, which started the downfall for Kaido's artificial blood fruits in the first place. So it sent him crashing down, and you saw Hawkins and Law, who was shot by this. After that, you see Kaido revert back to our question in the after the previous review. Was Kaido sober? Obviously he wasn't, because when he went back into his Oni form, he was staggering around. So that answers that question, which I don't think the manga actually did that, so I do appreciate that. And if it did answer it in the manga, it was very subtle, because I couldn't tell. But here they made it plainly obvious. And the only thing that Luffy managed to do, technically, was sober Kaido up, to the point to get him serious. Realistically, Kaido took 0 damage. He did get pushed back? Yeah. Was he damaged? Absolutely not. I don't think so. Keep in mind he was in his zone form, so he absorbed a lot of attacks from Luffy. And Luffy was exerting a lot of energy in Gear Third. Even so, when he had Kaido down the first time in his dragon form, and then he reverted to his Oni form, Law was like, yo, Mugiwara, enough. You gotta get out of there. Quit while you're ahead. He ignored Law's advice, and I do honestly think this had somewhat of a downfall on Luffy, because he was pissed off about what happened with not only his crew, but also with Atama too. So obviously when he's mad, you can't focus on observation hockey. We learned that in Hockey Island. Other than the fact that he was up against the Yonko Kaido. But that obviously didn't help either. And then Kaido gets back up, and you see him staggering around in his Oni form. Luffy uses Gear 4th, and what I really like about this for the first time, other than obviously film Stampede, we're seeing it in this type of art style in the anime. So that's pretty cool. Surprised in the manga he didn't use Gear 4th Snake Man, but I'm pretty sure they're going to save that for the final fight. Or maybe a new form from Luffy. I'm pretty sure. Luffy did use Kong Organ, which I do like, because the Kong Organ, even Kaido in his Oni form, did take the blows. And if you look at it before it landed, the attacks on Kaido, it looked very reminiscent to that of what he used to take down Rob Lucci in Ino's lobby. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That's the technique that finished off Rob Lucci. Here, Kaido just fended off the attacks, but he did send him flying in time, crash into a building, and then that's when he goes back to his senses. You see the thunderstorm, you see the lightning, you see the wind. Kaido looks like he was sober at that point in time. Luffy tries to charge again and attack. Kaido takes a swing with his mace. It's a great way. Like I said, the art style animation speaks for itself. Kaido and Luffy on a collision course. Kaido catches Luffy first, and they play that epic Kaido music, and Luffy gets KO'd, knocked the hell out, knocks him straight out of Gear 4, right into his base mode. That's all she wrote for Luffy, and goes to show you, Luffy dodged a bullet in Whole Cake Island, he dodged a bullet in Dressrosa. He didn't get so lucky here. Played a baseball with Luffy's face, and anime only is going to be shocked by this, because, and what's really interesting, it doesn't seem like he's going to kill Luffy, given from the preview. Well, that was kind of obvious anyway. Even when he's unconscious, that Luffy's still glaring at him. So, and I do like how Kaido said, "What kind of king did you say he was going to be, you punk?" So that was just a add salt to the wounds, and that's how the episode ends. Law, I do give credit to Law. He did try to do something. He tried to use room to get Luffy the hell out of there, but Hawkins was right on top of that. He sends a Kuroseki needle into the arm of Law, so it prevents him from using his devil fruit. And I love how we get the law about how Kuroseki was actually founded in Wano, so that was pretty cool. So even in something as sharp as something as small as a nail could be refined with Kuroseki or sea stone. So Hawkins just tried to go in with his straw sword. Lord dodges and he blocks the attack, and then he uses the sword to get the nail out of it without touching it. So that's pretty clever on the part of Law. He uses room to escape, and then that's where Hawkins like go find him. So that's pretty cool. But Luffy, not so lucky. So just a crazy way of ending 2019 when it comes to like the anime. I mean, say what you want, but there's been more positives than negatives. And despite the blunder in the previous episode with, like I said, Kaido tail whipping Luffy, it kind of undermines the one shot, but didn't make it any less epic when we saw it in the anime. So I couldn't ask for any more. You guys down below, I thought it was great. Like, but either way, we're close to wrapping up the first act of Wano, so I can't wait what they do from there on. And 2020 should be even bigger for the anime, so I can't wait. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.